So hi guys, in this video we'll be seeing the progress of the antivirus development which we are developing since like from 2016. It's like you can see we are working from more than 5 years, and you can also see we are working in the antivirus software and industry for more than like 6 to 7 years. We are constantly working on developing security softwares for Windows and Linux machines. So we'll be demonstrating to the projects which we have completed and the things which we have achieved in the security side, so that it will be having a clear indication on where we started from and where we are right now and where we are going to progress. So I'll be sharing my screen. I hope the screen is visible. So it all started with a simple problem which we faced in our machines. For example, we'll be in our office premises, we'll be using multiple USB devices, and in the USB devices we started seeing shortcuts created. So the first ever viruses which we have encountered is the famous shortcut virus, which will be creating shortcuts on all your USB devices. So we wanted to invent our own solution. Initially we came up with only one simple software, a very minimal and simple software, which will be removing the shortcut virus, only one specific virus which is present in your USB device. So here I haven't connected any USB devices. The software, all it does is it will be scanning the USB device. If it is finding the shortcut virus in the USB device, it will be fixing the shortcut, it will be removing the shortcut virus and fixing your USB device so that it will be more secure. Later, in the later part of our application development, we were working on the lot of other things. We have encountered so many other different forms of viruses. So we had to come up with, we had to update the software with multiple viruses, because only one malware is not present in the entire world. The world is constantly loaded with different types of malware. So we had to come up with a very simple solution which we are constantly facing in our premises. Like we had created a simple console based application where it will be performing some malware scan, the most common malwares which are available, which we are constantly encountering. And then we had the we programmed something to remove the duplicate files and remove the shortcut virus and things like that. And for example, if you are choosing quick scan, you can simply see the software will be scanning the important directories in the Windows, like the program files, the app directory and things like that. It was a very simple, the initial software was targeting only one specific form of virus, and then this software is targeting multiple forms of virus, and then it has the ability to detect any new virus. Like if you are updating our signatures directory, it will be able to detect the newer form of virus. So this is the first stage of our antivirus engine development. So we got the engine, we got the early stages of engine ready, but this is not yet done. Like it's a very early stage of antivirus engine, where which has the functionality to update its signature and detect newer form of virus. Once the database is up to date with newer signatures, it will be able to detect the newer virus as much as the industrial antivirus will be able to detect. So it has all the functionalities to detect the malware. And then the next thing is we got a pretty good response from our team. This tool seems to be very helpful for our day-to-day premises. So we had to release a new update just to have an user interface for the entire console based application. It would be nice to create a simple software, right? For example, we are performing quick scan. Now it has the UI. Initially we got the engine ready, although it is not the most advanced engine we are having, but we got the engine ready. It is all it matters, right? Initially we have to start with something, and then now we got the user interface ready. And but the engine seems to be although the engine is a very early stage, we got it ready at this stage. It already took this is we are developing for more than 7 years. You can see in the year section we are developing more than 7 years. The newer project started 4 years ago. It already took 2 years in my life to come up to this part. It's entirely programmed in C++. If we would have chosen other language, it could have been faster, but something is planned. We had to go with the C++ one. And then we have since we got the basic UI done, we had to come up with a better UI, and then we have worked on Qt C++ development for creating a better UI. Newer UI will be looking very much nicer, but we had to halt the development 5 years back to reprogram the antivirus into a newer project. In the newer project, we had to improve our existing engine. We had to improve our engine so that it can at least compete with the antiviruses which are available on the market. So finally we were able to release our minimal working product after in the 2019. It took another 2 years. So in the third update, we have an advanced antivirus engine which is far more advanced than the previous versions, and I have isolated the engine separately running, and then the UI interface part, so that both the things are completely isolated. The UI may not look much better compared to the previous version, but in this update we were only focusing on the engine end to constantly improve the ability of our engine to detect newer malwares. And then once it is done, we have also added the functionality to automatically update our engine from new samples which are collected from the internet. We are also able to maintain a cloud based threat database like commercial antivirus vendors are using. So we in the previous version we are targeting only the small set of viruses and we have to update it, but this is something antivirus engine, we can consider this whole engine to be almost ready, and then the UI interface is done, and then this is something which can compete with the industrial antivirus software which are available in the market if we are able to update it. Now we I will tell the major changes which are done in this antivirus software. The main change which we have done is the previous version of antivirus software were using only hash based detection. So every time a new malware comes, a malware itself can replicate into multiple different forms, although each forms will be, each forms will be looking like, how to say, each form of the malware is exactly the same malware, but it will be having a different hashes. Now in this newer antivirus engine, what we have done is we have used latest research done on malware analysis. We are using locality based sensitive hashing, which is a very advanced functionality to detect malware in this engine to compete the commercially available antivirus engine. The only thing which is stopping from the commercial grade antivirus to ours is we are lacking a proper funding, and then we are lacking a proper team. Our team size is very small, and then we are also lacking some fundings. And now the latest thing which is done, you have seen something which is done 7 years ago, and then the latest thing which we are undergoing right now is this is the latest research which is done 4 years ago, and then from 4 years, and I was working for more than 1 year. I was involved in machine learning and deep learning analysis on malware classification and labeling. So we were able to introduce our antivirus engine to machine learning. So once machine learning and artificial intelligence is coming into an antivirus engine, it will be having an additional robustness towards our engine. So I was working on this research, and then I have published a research paper on this one, which seems to be very welcomed from the malware analysis community. We are still working on progressing towards improving our engine, and then the classification, and then we are planning to create a product which will be competing the commercial grade antivirus engine. We are also having a few plans to surpass the commercial grade antivirus engine, like providing cloud security and providing security services to the enterprises and things like that. But without funding, it will be very harder to continue this research, because it's it involves more research and development. It's very hard to proceed further without a proper R&D. So this is our dream, since, like, if it is passing 2 to 3 years, it is almost a decade of our dream to develop this software. We are constantly working on it, and then it seems to be going in the right direction. I think that is all from our side. If you have any questions, kindly let us know.